Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today is an incredibly interesting day because the news has broken. It's official. There's no going back. Black Ops 7 is already finished. The game is officially cooked, and in the meantime, Treyarch and Activision are going to be peddling even more nonsense into Black Ops 6. So what exactly am I talking about here? Well, you guys know how recently we've discussed how Call of Duty is slowly but surely becoming a children's game, right? With each new season, with each new update, Activision has been catering the game towards children more and more, because they're the ones who were raised with greedy microtransactions and shady business practices like they're just a normal thing, right? Well, today, the ESRB has come out with an official rating for Black Ops 7, and interestingly enough, the game is officially M for mature. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they were going to try to push for a lower rating, similar to how like every movie in the world now fights not to have an R rating anymore because they reach a much wider audience with PG-13. It's causing horror movies to be worse, it's causing action movies to become worse and worse, but honestly, it's good business because it makes them more money overall, and I would not be surprised if gaming starts to go down that same route. But getting back to it, Black Ops 7 is officially M for mature, and in there, we can see a few reasonings. Here we see blood and gore, intense violence, strong language, suggestive themes, and use of drugs. We later see, as players try to prevent a tech titan from gaining power, they use pistols, machine guns, assault rifles, and explosives to kill various enemies like hostile soldiers, robots, and creatures. We then see some weapons feature marijuana, joints, and paraphernalia. Players' characters inhaling marijuana from a bong-like structure attached to a rifle, players' characters smoking joints or inhaling through bongs as part of execution sequences. Ladies and gentlemen, carry forward is now officially confirmed. So we may be getting a little ahead of ourselves with the idea of carry forward, but what the ESRB described in their rating summary literally describes stuff that's been in Call of Duty already. I suppose it's entirely possible that number A, carry forward, is going to be a thing, or number B, they plan to launch the game with an insane amount of new weed-themed cosmetics and all sorts of other nonsense. Either way, it spells doom for the game. Like guns that have functioning bongs on them or special executions involving weed are not going to be part of the campaign. They're not talking about the campaign here or zombies. They are certainly talking about multiplayer, and Occam's razor says that they must be talking about carry forward. I actually called this a while ago, exactly 4 weeks ago to the day, and I don't want to toot my own horn here, but just take a listen for yourselves, because I have a prediction for what's going to go down here since Activision have been pretty much radio silent since the announcement of Black Ops 7. I predict that Black Ops 7 will indeed have carry forward. They will be doing this similar to how they did for Modern Warfare 3 as a way to pad out content. The game is already going to be full of remastered multiplayer maps and remastered zombies maps, and with them adding carry forward, the perceived increase in variety will be their way of padding content out even further without actually adding anything new. They are also going to be doing this as a way to convince people to buy more bundles within Black Ops 6 because they'll carry forward into Black Ops 7. I predict in the coming weeks, maybe in a month, they're going to announce as part of the advertisement for Black Ops 7 that carry forward is going to be a thing, and they're going to announce it super early because they want people to buy things in Black Ops 6 thinking they can use it in Black Ops 7. They're going to try to spin it in a positive way. They're going to say things like they want people's purchases and accomplishments to mean something, but the real reason will be they want to further push purchases within the shop. From there, Black Ops 7, right from day one, is not going to feel like a Black Ops game. It's not even going to really feel like a Call of Duty game because right from day one, it's going to be full of Barbies and butt heads and everything else, and it's going to only get worse as the game goes on. I predict that Black Ops 7, for all intents and purposes, will be a filler game before Modern Warfare 4. They're going to use it as kind of like a giant experiment, much in the same way they used Black Ops 4's Blackout as an experiment. They're going to try to test the limits and the boundaries for how much they can Fortniteify the Call of Duty series, because that's ultimately what their goal is. It seems like Activision does not want Call of Duty to be Call of Duty anymore. The people in charge want the game to be Fortnite. They wish they were Fortnite, and to accomplish that goal, they will work with any company, any brand, and pump out as many crossovers and microtransactions as possible. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to understand, I'm not happy about being right, but I absolutely was right about this. It's actually so sad. Like, I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, I was stoked for this year, you know, and the year after it. I was stoked for Black Ops 6. I was stoked for COD 2025. I mean, 2 straight Treyarch games, 2 straight Black Ops games, a nice rest away from Infinity Ward and all their mind-numbingly stupid decisions. It was supposed to be a high point for Call of Duty fans, but I suppose Treyarch and Activision took the high part of that sentence a little bit too 2 literally. You guys know what this means, right? Day 1 of Black Ops 7, there will be Beavis and Butthead, there will be Ninja Turtles, Seth Rogen, Bluntman and Chronic, Diamond, Unicorn, Fairy Dust, and Sharks and Dinosaurs, and all of that other stupid stuff, all of which will be butt sliding around the map and jumping off of walls like it's Pro Skater 3, and the matchmaking is going to be even worse than it has already been, and the anti-cheat just simply is not going to exist. So, ladies and gentlemen, with all that being said, how could anybody possibly argue that Call of Duty is not cooked right now? So in the 14 years I've been covering Call of Duty here on the channel, I feel like I've seen it all. I've played all the games. I never ended up purchasing Black Ops 6. In fact, that was the first COD in history I never bought, but I've always been around, right? And I like to think that I have my finger on the pulse of the Call of Duty franchise, so believe me when I say the marketing for this year's game is going to be different than any other. Typically, and we discussed this in a recent video thanks to Blame Truth, but Call of Duty will outright lie to you in the very beginning so they can sell you more bundles. The idea is when a new game comes out, they announce that the game has to be grounded and gritty and realistic, so the default operators in the game are very bland, they're very basic, and honestly they're kind of boring, right? And the same thing goes for the camos and everything, and they tell you that it has to be that way because that's what the game is supposed to be like, that's what fits within that universe, you know? Well, after about a month or so of that, they then do a full 180 and they start selling you all the stupid shit that we see in Black Ops 6, right? It's all so obvious. Like, they make the game bland on purpose, they make the grinds tedious and the rewards very basic, so no matter what, fans are incentivized to purchase things from the shop. I was actually talking to a game developer about this a while back, not a Call of Duty developer, but a game developer, and I told them that the in-game rewards need to be crazy, right? I'm talking like really cool stuff for getting max rank in the game, maybe some really neat stuff for doing all the challenges in the game, you know, just basically make the rewards in the game as good or better than some of the stuff that they're selling in the shop, right? And the developer's response was, well, we still gotta make money, and that was honestly pretty mind-blowing to me. Like, these game studios, not even just Call of Duty, but lots of studios in general, hold the game back intentionally so they can later sell things in the shop. It's very akin to how Call of Duty World War II, which you guys know I freaking love this game, it's very similar to how when World War II launched, it only had like, what, 9 standard multiplayer maps, and several launch maps were actually held back to be sold in DLC 1 and DLC 2. The launch of the game was made worse because they wanted to make more money down the line, and the exact same shit happens when it comes to the cosmetics and the grinds and the rewards within each and every Call of Duty game, except this time around, Activision thinks they can pull a fast one on us. This time, instead of that normal COD cycle, they're going to be building the entire game around microtransactions. Just picture all the stupid bundles that we've seen in Black Ops 6, all the paid rewards tracks and the crossovers and all of that. Well, suddenly, all of those things are now about to become a lot more relevant. Fans are going to be incentivized to buy a ton of stuff for Black Ops 7 right now, even though the beta is not yet out. Hell, the multiplayer trailer isn't even out yet, but as soon as people learn that Carry Forward is coming, the floodgates are going to open and people are going to be buying even more stuff than Black Ops 6 because they'll justify it to themselves by saying, well, I can use this in Black Ops 7, which means Activision is going to be pushing out even more crossovers, even more bundles, even more nonsense, and the game is just going to continue to get worse and worse. And when you think about Black Ops 7, that game, right from the very beginning, is going to be an AI slop Fortnite clone that bears no resemblance to Call of Duty whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. Well, ladies and gentlemen, where do we go from here? In my mind, Carry Forward was not that big of a deal, right? Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this, but going from Modern Warfare 2 into Modern Warfare 3, it really didn't feel like Carry Forward was really that crazy. All it really seemed to mean to me was we had a bunch of extra animated camos to use at launch while we grinded for the new camos, and a lot of the skins and the operators and whatnot, they weren't that bad back in Modern Warfare 2, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of them were kind of milsim, some of them were a bit outlandish, but nothing really too crazy or too over the top, but that's just my memory. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comments. But this time around, however, we have, what, like 8 different cartoon skins already in the game, and I'm sure more are coming over the course of the next couple of months. Black Ops 7 is going to look and feel like a complete joke right from the very beginning. You then have the weapons, right? I mean, tracer packs right away, bong weapons, and rainbow unicorns, and all that stuff, all of which I predict will be much more prevalent than they were back during Modern Warfare 3. I wish I could give you guys an accurate assessment, but I can't do that because Activision and Treyarch have had their mics muted for like 8 months now, but if I had to guess, I don't see any reason why there would be major changes in Black Ops 7 in terms of the time to kill or the health values, right? So all the guns and all the everything from Black Ops 6 are going to be just as relevant as ever within Black Ops 7. If that happens, not only will that mean 2 straight years of the freaking Amos and the Jackal, but it's also going to mean that the game is going to feel even more like a DLC update than it already was. The only way they could possibly change that is if they randomly decide to change the health and the time to kill for no reason whatsoever, and in doing so, they would end up making most of the Black Ops 6 weapons useless, similar to how the Modern Warfare 2 weapons were pretty useless during the launch of Modern Warfare 3, and in doing so, I imagine they could sell even more bundles in the game so people could get the new stuff faster, but we're just gonna have to wait and see how all that plays out. All I know is Black Ops 7 is going to be the biggest cash grab in Call of Duty history. It's not going to be about the story or the world or the fact that it's a Black Ops 2 sequel or the characters or the maps or anything like that. It will only be about selling yet more bundles in Black Ops 6 and then even more bundles in Black Ops 7, and the sheer amount of crossovers and bundles and cosmetics and paid reward tracks and everything else that we are going to see over the next couple of months is going to be insane. Call of Duty as we knew it is absolutely done, and that really does pain me to say. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap the video up on that note. Of course, I will keep you posted if Activision figures out how to unmute their mic and announce something officially about Black Ops 7, but for right now, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video here today. Leave your thoughts and feedback on the news down there in the comments. Be sure to sub if you're new around here. Thank you so much for listening and for your continued support of my channel, and until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.